everybody, welcome back to another Spekic adventure. We are currently heading on to board the Shinkansen towards Tokyo. The experience is a little bit different than when we had first landed in Japan and we're heading to Kyoto. We didn't think that we need to pre-book our seats, and so we just went to the ticket counter like last time and bought our tickets. But the thing with this time around is for some reason there were lots of people. Maybe it was the time that we chose or the day that we chose to head out. But essentially all of the reserved seating had already been booked. So as you can see, there's plenty of people boarding the train with us. Everybody that's boarding into this car does not have reserved seating. As we're walking through the aisles, you can see that lots of seats were already taken. So for the first part of the route, like for the first stop, Tommy and I were actually not able to sit together because the train was really packed. So just keep that in mind. I would highly suggest that if you could and if you know your itinerary beforehand, to pre-book your seatings so that you don't run into this issue. The day before this, we had actually been in Nara, and the place that we bought this bento from was called Izasa Nakatani. They sell fermented sushi, and because we wanted to eat something else, we had just bought this bento for our lunch for the Shinkansen. So that's what you're seeing here. We had two different bentos, but I would say the sushi between the two different bentos, even though they looked a little bit different, tasted relatively the same. If you've never had it, I would say it's cool to, try, but for me, I think I'd still prefer fresh sushi a lot better. We finally arrived in Tokyo. Our hotel is nothing special and kind of janky because it's in Shinjuku and we didn't want to pay expensive rates, so there's nothing much to show you guys. We're gonna head directly over to Shinjuku Isetan. This is a downstairs basement that sells a lot of different foods and things like that. You'll see a lot of these in Tokyo. You could essentially find anything here from bakery items, salads, traditional sushi bentos, things like that. We opted for some salad, which was really good. It wasn't like your traditional Caesar salad, okay? It had like seafood and all sorts of like other things in there that made it super yummy. And right now we are right kind of in the afternoon tea time frame, so Tommy and I just opted for some salad. Over here, this is ham and arugula salad. This one is shrimp, and it also has hotate, which is scallop. Looks pretty good. This is a croquet, but inside it has a boiled egg. See it? There's an egg.
Wow. Wow. What is this again?
Ube. I have no idea exactly what it is, but it is ube.
Looks amazing.
They have a little ice pack next to it so that if you're traveling, taking it home, it's gonna stay cold. So we have some chocolate, the brown part. You have some like kind of like white cream stuff like this in the center. I think that's whipped cream, and then on top you have like the yam essentially. Shinjuku at night. I actually love staying in Shinjuku. This is the first time that I've stayed here. And I would say this is such a nice neighborhood to stay in. There's just so many things to look around, and shops and stores and crane game machines are still open until very late at night. And so I just think this is a great neighborhood to stay in if you are into nightlife. It's great that, you know, you can go out, venture out, and when all the things are closed outside, you can still come back and be close to your hotel, but just go downstairs and have the accessibility for all the things that are still open, and you can still choose to hang out if you want. Our first stop, I had to go, is the Disney store. They had lots of really cute items, but nothing really that pulled at my heartstrings, and so we just took a quick detour here, and we were headed to our next stop.
哦，係好得意喎！
好 Q
呢個
咧，
得意喎，呢個 JDM 喎。
係好 JDM 啊，咁樣吸出嚟㗎。You pour hot water in here like a cup noodle,
Yeah.
but inside is actual
Yeah.
towel.
Look at this cool color scheme. Sick, isn't it?
Half half. Is this like custom? It should be, right?
Yeah,
It looks very cool and unique.
Either that or he got the silver. His is not an AMG, but he got the other AMG.
Then we saw a big camera, and it was one of our favorite department stores in Tokyo. We would always head up to the top floor where they were selling toys, and I would say their prices here are pretty fair. Not the cheapest that we found, but definitely would say the most fair priced.
And I also found clothes. This one I want to get.
Is it the penguin?
Yeah, this is the penguin. This is the king penguin.
Oh. You want to take this or not?
Which one should I get?
Dude, overwhelming again.
You're buying stuff?
She's buying all the.
Which one to pick? Look.
It's actually my very first time at Ichiran. So the line for Ichiran was kind of long. I think it took us roughly 40 to 45 minutes in order to get to the downstairs portion where we are now writing down our order on a form. And they have you do this while you're in line so that once you're seated, the order, whatever you ordered, can come out right at that moment. So a little bit more efficient in terms of timing. There's also a cool little board here that indicates what seats are available and what are taken so that the hostesses can show you to the seat and you will know exactly what seat number you need to be seated at.
Yeah, it's also English friendly.
Like I said, Shinjuku has super busy nightlife, lots of things to see, and so after dinner, we were just wandering around. We just wanted to know what the neighborhood had to offer. And Soon enough, we have wandered upon a game center.
I see Tiffany is already buying. Trading.
I've been obsessed with this like cat figure. The brand is called Mofu Sando, and I've been obsessed with them. And if you're wondering what that white wrap around his head is, that is a mayonnaise bottle. And no, sadly, I didn't win any.
Oh, you might get a chance.
God damn it.
Tommy trying his hand at the Luffy figurine. We actually were able to win this. We spent roughly about $20 USD. I did win something though.
Camera.
This is the next morning and we are headed towards Tsukiji fish market, which is not actually considered a fish market anymore since they moved it. And you know what, ever since then I feel like it's just not the same. In terms of like number of people, like foot traffic, I feel like there were roughly around the same. It's always been kind of a touristy destination. But the thing is, when they used to have the fish market, I feel like there were more locals present. People were actually buying their fishes here. Versus now that it's not actually a fish market, we just see a lot of tourists. And the locals are nowhere near there. And I can totally understand why, because the prices at Tsukiji market were insane. Like, fish in Japan is not even really supposed to be expensive because they're an archipelago, right? There's fish everywhere. It's an island. But the thing is, when we went to Tsukiji, the prices that we saw there for the fish, which I don't even know if it was good quality or decent quality, but the pricing was definitely not cheap.
It's higher message.
I don't remember it being that expensive back then. Like 3 years.
Like, I wanted to try some, but like the price point just seriously turned me away. Especially eating at Maruyoshi Sushi in Osaka, where they gave you really large slices of fish, and the price was cheaper than at Tsukiji.
Hot. See all the smoke. They put sugar.
They put a lot of sugar.
I did get suckered into buying this inari sushi, like, you know, the ones with like the tofu wrap sushi. It looked humongous. I don't know what it was. It just caught my eye and I just like really wanted it. I think I paid like almost $10 USD for one. And it was essentially just fried tofu wrapped in sushi rice with some crab bits on top. The crab was not even like legit crab. It was literally like the type of crab meat that you get when people have finished eating the entire crab and you see those like little bits and pieces left over in the shell. It was those tiny little pieces sprinkled on top of the inari sushi. So I feel like the worth of that sushi was probably like, I think maybe $4 tops, and they were selling it for like $10. Just to give you an idea of the inflation at Tsukiji. This is a really large Uniqlo, and they have multiple floors. On the bottom floor, they have like a flower section. You can buy flowers, and then on the top, I think they have a cafe as well. Most of the stuff in here, I think, are stuff that they sell at the US branches, but there are things in here that are Japan exclusive. It doesn't say Japan exclusive on the racks, so I think you would need to do some research on your own. Maybe go online and do like a cross-reference or something to see if they sell it on the US website. I did find some women's items here that were sold in the US, but in the US they were sold out versus the store here had plenty in stock. So it's also a good opportunity if you are looking for specific Uniqlo items and it was super popular in the States and it's sold out. You might be able to find it here.
It's interesting. Hype Center community. It's all you, bro.
One thing I noticed at the Japan Uniqlo is the sizing. The sizing is crazy because in the US I can fit into like a small skirt, right? Like for Uniqlo dresses or skirts, I can fit into a small. But here I actually have to fit the largest size available. So I'm assuming their smallest size is probably like a extra small in the US. So if you're anything larger than say a small to maybe like a petite medium, you're gonna have a hard time finding things in the women's section at Uniqlo in Japan. So for example, this dress. Their smallest size available is a 58. For me, I can fit usually into a small skirt, and I have to fit into a 67. There's also a Nissan showroom in Ginza. And out in front, they have a super cool Datsun Fairlady Z. It's cool to see the comparison between the Fairlady Z and the new Z that they just released. It's the same exact color, and you can really see where the inspiration of the design comes from when they're parked literally right next to each other.
They should show the R35 Nismo. Oh, what is this?
This little EV K car looking thing is called Sakura. Very cool. Behind this section is a small cafe where they sell Nissan cafe art. They had some really cool Nissan / Datsun t-shirts for sale. Now we are headed to Tokyo Station, First Avenue. One thing about shopping at First Avenue Tokyo Station is that prior to actually beginning to buy stuff here, make sure you head on upstairs where the actual station is, and there is a place where you can register for tax refund. So once you find the tax refund counter, you'll be asked to provide your passport, and then at that point, they will go ahead and kind of give you this booklet. Keep that booklet with you as you shop. You're gonna need to present that booklet every time you pay for something at First Avenue, and they will attach a receipt of what you bought on that booklet. make sure you don't open anything you buy prior to receiving your tax refund, because at the end of all the shopping that you do here and you go back to the counter to actually get your tax refund, they're gonna have to do a check on what you actually bought. And if they see that you opened anything, that item will not qualify for tax refund.
What the fuck is this?
It is not cherry blossom season, but cherry blossoms were already starting to show. It's a selfie pole. Japanese people think of everything. We're eating at Manten Sushi Nihonbashi today. Lots of food blogs actually feature this place. They consider it to be the budget omakase. So I think it was around roughly $60 USD, and you get so much food, and the fish was really fresh.
I'm gonna have mackerel that's soft before.
The service took about 2 hours. I honestly think that it was probably supposed to be like an hour and a half, but due to maybe like a lack of staff, or maybe just because they're super busy, some of our stuff took a while to get out.
The shrimp looks really good.
Yeah, the shrimp.
They don't even look like shrimp.
Yeah, that was
I think Manten Sushi Nihonbashi is super worth it. Make sure that you go online to make a reservation before you come, because it is a very small restaurant and it's usually packed. So make a reservation before you stop by.
It's like mini baby clams. Very interesting.
We are starting our new day in Asakusa district.
We're here at Asakusa. You can recognize it by the big lantern in the back. Tommy and I just got finished with our kimono fitting. Tommy's wearing green, and I'm wearing pink. We're gonna get our photos taken later in a photo shoot, so.
The kimono fitting was super fun. You get to pick the different types of kimonos you want to try, and they had a lot of different colors and patterns. Lots of people there also are dressed up in kimonos, so if you're a little bit timid, not sure that if everybody would stare at you, I mean, some people would look because, you know, you look great. Why would people not look? Don't be afraid, because there are plenty other people also dressed in kimonos. If you're doing a kimono fitting, I would recommend that you start as early as you're able to. For us, we booked our appointment at 9:30, right when they opened, so that after you are dressed in your kimono, you can walk through the Asakusa district or wherever you're renting the kimono, and being able to enjoy your kimono for the day before you have to return it. Asakusa is also famous for their senbei crackers.
But it's just... 哇，好好喎！好香喎！
It was really fun wearing a kimono, walking through Asakusa district, and just eating and buying things here and there.
How much?
Asakusa also has the Sensoji Temple behind Nakamisedori Street. So if you're looking to, take some more traditional photos in your kimono, head on over to Sensoji Temple. We walked on over to Nishisando Shopping Street. They had a shooting game here that was really fun. I'm telling you, these things are rigged, okay? If you try to aim for the big prizes like I did, I was trying to aim for like this bag. I hit it like 3 times and the bag did not move.
Oh. She almost walked in front.
I know.
Oh, she probably got shot many times. What did we get? This custard?
Custard, taiyaki.
They got bacon egg as well, which is a little weird.
But it's sold out, so probably very popular.
We also walked pretty far out, over to Kababashi Street. It's still within the Asakusa district, but it's about half a mile away from Sensoji Temple area. Kababashi Street is known for selling a lot of different houseware and kitchenware items. They have a lot of ceramics, teapots, chopsticks for sale here. So if you're into that, if you're looking for new kitchenwares for your home, check this place out because they have lots of different designs and the prices are really fair. We had a really quick stop for some food. This was really good katsu. We're back in Shinjuku right now, and we are headed on up to Kenbox.
Wow.
Kenbox was one of those places that Tommy really wanted to go to. I think it made its round on YouTube. Most of them are older and used, so this is a good place if you're a collector looking to find specific cars that are not produced anymore. It's similar to Mandarake that I showed you back in Osaka, except this one is all car focused. The prices are not exactly cheap. If you're here and you're buying, you're most likely looking for something rather specific, so you're paying for that premium. The Wagyu here was just okay. It was decent, but not the best. This is the end of the Tokyo Part 1 vlog. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for another Speckic adventure. Bye!
That's why I noticed the higher grade of meat or like fishes, they all